Welcome to the Websnack. Is building a strong succession pipeline a challenge for your organization? I'm Charlie Lang. I'm the founder and the partner of ProgressU. I'm the author of the books The Groupness Factor and The Coach Factor and over 200 articles on coaching, leadership, and corporate culture. At ProgressU, we are passionate about shaping organizational cultures and developing coaching excellence. If we achieve progress with the individuals, teams, and organizations we are working with, that makes us really happy. So let's have a look at the poll we asked in our last newsletter. Is building a strong succession pipeline a challenge for your organization or not? We were slightly surprised by the results, which were almost all the same. A big majority, 83%, actually admitted that building a strong succession pipeline is a challenge for their organization. So we thought it's worthwhile to look a bit deeper into this. What's the difference between a high performer and a high potential? Now, this graph may be at first a little bit confusing, but essentially what it says is that 93% of all high potentials are also high performers, means almost everybody. But only 29% of all high performers are actually considered high potentials, meaning you need to be a high performer in most cases to be considered a high potential, 93%, but by no means being a high performer is sufficient to be considered a high potential. That's only true for 29%. So obviously, there must be something else besides being a high performer that determines whether someone is considered to be a high potential. If you think about it, potential essentially means expected future performance. So how would we know? How would we know whether someone will perform well in the future as well? Because the job will be different, the challenges will be different. There are a number of ways to figure this out. One way, which is a bit extensive but very profound, is to run so-called progress centers. Progress centers are ProgressU's take on development centers. Traditional development centers have a number of flaws that we overcome with our progress center. Essentially, participants undergo activities that they normally don't need to do today, but will need to do in more senior roles. And during these activities, not only are they being observed and evaluated, but also they will start to realize through so-called laser coaching sessions whether they have the potential, A, and B, if they don't have it yet, what would they need to do to grow into such more senior roles? For us, what's really important, and that's in the spirit of coaching, is that the participants in the Progress Center take as much ownership as possible. That's usually not the case in traditional development centers. Therefore, our design is a bit different. Also, traditional development centers do not take into account so-called flip behaviors that happen often when people are highly under stress. This is not their normal daily behavior, but only stress behavior. And most development centers don't recognize that and may actually come to completely wrong conclusions what may need to be developed. We integrate the Harrison paradox reports into the progress centers to avoid any misunderstanding or misjudgment of a participant. There are lighter ways of doing this through a number of different assessments like 360-degree assessments, psychometric assessments, observation, shadowing, things like that. Case by case, it needs to be decided what is best suited to really identify how well a person would do in the future. Progress centers is still the better way, but of course it's also a significantly higher investment. But identifying is not enough. We need to also develop the potentials in order to build a strong succession pipeline. There are multiple ways of doing this, and these are just some examples. And what we usually do is case by case work out what is the best way to develop these talents. If you want to know more about how we help organizations build and grow a healthy and strong succession pipeline, please contact us. We are always happy to have a conversation with you.